Shri Guru Charitra, Chapter 26 Infinite Glory of the Vedas and Their True Purpose. Preliminary. This chapter describes Shri Narsimha Saraswati explaining to the two vainglorious Pandits about the sanctity of Vedic lore and that Vedas are not meant for Vad and polemics. Vedas are verily the mother. They are to be treated with reverence and veneration. They are meant to illumine our intellect and to help us discover our true self, and are not intended for bartering them for self-aggrandizement. They are not for Jivanopadhi, but for Jivan Paramavadhi. They are meant for Bhakti and Mukti, and not for Bhukti. They are meant for nurturing and enriching the spirit, but not for filling and pampering one's being. Siddhamuni continued with the narrative. Shri Narsimha Saraswati told the Pandits that it was wrong, presumptuous and childish on their part to believe that they had mastered all the Vedas and gained all knowledge. It is indeed beyond the ken and capacity of anybody, even of gods, to have full and proper understanding of the Vedas. The Vedas are indeed countless and endless. Anantavahi Vedaha, it is said. Even Brahmadev could not gauge the extent of the Vedas. The Lord himself had to incarnate on earth as Badarayan, that is Vyasa, and he collated a small portion of them into 4 Vedas, which we have heard of. It was indeed a very tiny portion of the original Vedic lore abstracted for the purpose of making a beginning and for paving the way for dharmic life. Even Badarayan, in truth, could not find the beginning and end of the Vedas, as even these 4 Vedas, tiny portions from the original, which is limitless, cannot be studied and understood by anyone, even if he be allotted eons of life. Vyas Bhagwan taught each one of the Vedas some little portion from each to one student, each of whom was specially blessed with the full extent of a kalpa, his lifespan. Thus, spending a full kalpa for their study, Paila Rishi learnt a small portion which goes under the name of Rig Veda. Vaishampayan learnt another small portion which goes under the name of Yajur Veda. Jaimini learnt another small portion which goes under the name of Sama Veda. And Sumanta learnt another small portion which goes by the name of Atharva Veda. These at least they could learn only because of the special grace of their Guru, Vyas Bhagwan. That being the case, how ridiculous it was for any man whose lifespan was so short to claim and boast that he had mastered the Vedas. In ancient times, Bharadwaj Rishi had resolved that he would learn and master all the Vedas. As he proceeded with his study, he found that although decades and centuries were rolling by, the progress he could make was too little. He undertook penance to propitiate Brahma, and when Brahma appeared before him, he prayed, "Grant me as much lifespan as would suffice for my completing the study of the Vedas." Brahmadev smiled, as if in derision, and said, "My child, I can make you Chiranjeevi, but alas, it is beyond all my powers to help you to make a complete study of the Vedas. See there the infinite heights of the Vedas." As he said this, Bharadwaj Rishi could see the splendorous mountains of the Vedas, their peaks hardly visible and penetrating into the highest skies. Their effulgence was like that of 1,000,000 suns. Bharadwaj instantly realized his folly in hoping that he could master all the Vedas, which would never be possible even if he be granted millions and millions of eons as his lifespan. He was crestfallen and fell at the feet of Brahma that he should somehow bless him with the Vedic wisdom. Brahma gave him 3 handfuls of material from the infinite mountain peaks and told him, "If you can study and understand this much, you will be most blessed indeed." Bharadwaj strove for all his life and he could not complete even that much study of the 3 handfuls of material that Brahmadev gave him. Gurunath again said, "That being the case, how foolish it is for a mere mortal of Kali Yuga to claim that he has mastered all the Vedas. Alas." Gurunath now started speaking of the glory of the Vedas and their structure, which was unheard of before by any. Gurunath said that this was what had been told by Vyas Bhagwan to each of his disciples regarding the respective Vedas he taught them. Briefly, it is as under. Rig Veda has its auxiliary Ayurveda, the science of life. Its presiding deity is Brahma. Its Gotra is Atrayasa. Its Chanda is Gayatri. The Rig Veda Purush has red lotus-like broad eyes and a 3 feet long shapely neck. He has beautiful flowing locks of hair. Rig Veda has in all 12 sections or divisions. Its systematic recital with the correct intonation endows greatest merit. Much of the portion of Rig Veda is not known to any in the Kali Yuga. Yajurveda has its auxiliary, the Dhanur Veda, the science of archery and weapons. Its presiding deity is Rudra. Its Gotra is Bharadwaj. Its Chanda is Trishtup. The Yajurveda Purush has bright lotus-like eyes with an effulgent body and majestic stature. Yajurveda has 86 Vedas, that is sections or divisions. It is humanly impossible to explain every section of this Veda. Each section has many subsections, chapters and branches which are dealt with in great detail but are not easily comprehensible. They have profound meanings and implications. They deal with sacrifices, achar vidhis, the detailed instructions governing the performance of sacrifices, the mantras for the purpose, and the strict discipline to be observed by the Brahmin, especially by the priests officiating at such sacrifices. This Veda broadly consists of mantras, brahmanas, samhitas, and aranyakas. This Veda has 8 upangas, that is, Pratipada, Anupada, Chanda, Bhasha, Dharma, Mimamsa, Nyaya, and Tarka. It has also 6 angas, limbs, namely Shiksha, Kalpaka, Vyakran, Nirukta, Chanda, and Jyotish. Samveda has as its Upaveda Gandharva Vidya Ved. Its presiding deity is Vishnu. Its Chanda is Jagati. Its Gotra is Kashyap. Samaved has 1,000 shakhas, sections. The Samaved Purush dons on his neck a beautiful flower garland and wears a white waistcloth. He has all the virtues like Shama and Dama, that is total mastery over senses and mind. He has radiant eyes, a most fair complexion, golden splendid body, and is 9 feet tall in height. Atharva Ved is full of mantra shastra. Its Upaved is Astra Vidya Veda. Its presiding deity is Indra. Its Gotra is Vaijanasa. Its Chanda is Trishtup. The Atharva Ved Purush is of fierce form and of dark complexion. He is not as austere as the other 3 Ved Purush. Atharvana mantras can be used for malevolent purposes also and thus misused. The Veda has chiefly 9 Vedas and 5 Kalpas. Sri Narasimha Saraswati told the Pandits that the Vedas are most profound. They are the sole protection for mankind both in the world here and the world hereafter. They are to be worshipped as a mother. Humility is the true mark of scholarship. He again emphasized that knowledge, if at all anyone can gain and profess about the Veda, will just be no more than a grain of sand, while the Vedic lore is like the unending stretch of the sandy shores of all the seas of the earth. The Pandits in their pride could not grasp the wise counsel of Sri Narasimha Saraswati and still kept up with their air of arrogance. Thus ends the 26th chapter of Sri Guru Charitra, giving a brief account of all the 4 Vedas and their infinite glory. Glory to the All-Merciful, the Omnipresent, and the ever-responsive Gurunath. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.